This is a video that is in regards to the Fizz Buzz test. This test was brought to my attention by a viewer whose name was, let's see here, Trailing Dot, asking if I had heard of it and if I'll do a video on it. I had not heard of it, but I quickly Googled it, read about it, and came up with a solution. Not the best solution, because after I came up with my solution, I Googled, and the better solution, although mine works, is definitely more efficient, uses less processing power, and is shorter. But I'm going to show you my train of thought, what I went through, and then I'll show you the better way of doing it. But basically, this test is to see if you can program, write code. It's a simple test that is difficult, from what I've read. So basically, it's a program, a script that's going to count out numbers from 1 to 100, but if the number is divisible by 3, instead of the number, it's going to print the word fizz. If it's divisible by 5, it's going to print the word buzz. And if it's divisible by both 3 and 5, it should print fizz buzz instead of the number. So let's go, and I'm going to write a script here, and I'm going to show you the inefficient way that I came up with, just to show you my train of thought. And the other way, I don't know why I didn't think of doing it the other way. Basically, a better way is dividing by the number, but you'll see here in a moment. So I'm going to create a script. I'll just call it FB for FizzBuzz, and .sh, sure, why not. Start off with the shebang line, bin bash, because this is a bash script. And I'm going to go through this real quick, but basically I used a for loop to count from 1 to 100, which is a good way to start, since that's the first point of this script. I'm going to open and close my loop with a do and done. Then what I went, instead of evaluating my variable I and seeing, dividing it by 3 to see if it's divisible by 3, maybe it's because I'm tired, I did another for loop. I went for x in 3 through 100, counting by 3s. So those of you who see where I'm going with this see that it's going to work, but it is definitely not nearly the most efficient way of doing this. And I kind of knew that when I was writing it, but for some reason I just wanted to see if I could do it. But basically, as I loop through that, I check each time with x for each number if x is equal to I. And then, if x was equal to I, so I would say x now equals fizz. And I would break out of the loop. And if it didn't equal I, then I would set x to nothing. Okay. And then I close that for loop. Then I did the same exact thing for 5, being divisible by 5. I said for y in, this time I went by 5, so I said 5, count from 5 to 100 by 5s. And then for each number that's divisible by 5, I'm going to say if $y equals I, so if my number is divisible by 5, then we would say y equals buzz, and we would break out of the loop, just like before. And if it didn't equal it, we would just set y equal to nothing. Close our if-then statement, close our for loop. And then after we've gone through each number multiple times, because I'm using multiple loops, I'm going to say if x and y together don't equal nothing, then I will equal whatever x and y equal. Close my if statement there, and then we will echo whatever I is. So if it was divisible by 3, 5, or 3 and 5, y would now equal fizz, buzz, or fizz buzz. And if not, it would still equal the number. Let's go ahead and save that. Change mods, make it executable. And there we go. My script works, but once again, extremely inefficient. But once again, I was trying to do it without looking anything up. So then I Googled it, and of course I came across a better answer, which I was expecting. Like I said, I knew while I was doing this that I was not doing it the most efficient way, but I was seeing what I could come up with. So now I'm going to show you a more better way. That's correct, a more better way. I will just call this one fb2.sh. And so through a Google search, I found that, once again, start off with our shebang line, letting our operating system know that this is a bash script. And then we said for I in, and they used sequence, which pretty much the same as the other way I was doing it, but since they did it this way, I'll do it that way too. It's the way I used to do it. We'll say do, done, and then they said, instead of looping through, I don't know why I they basically did a little bit of math and said, is I divisible by 15? If it is, if you divide it by 15, and it equals 0, well then it's divisible by 15. And we will echo fizz buzz. Oh, didn't close down. Looking at the color coding, I'm like, something's wrong. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to say elif. Then we're going to say, now we're going to take our variable of I and divide it by 3. And if that equals 0, so if you divide it by 3 and it equals 0, it is divisible by 3. Why am I putting those there? Boom. Then echo fizz. Oops. And else if it, of course we're going to say divisible by 5 in this case, so we're going to do some math here. Divide by 5, and if you divide it by 5 and it equals 0, well, then it's divisible by 5, and we should echo buzz. And if none of that is true, so else, we're going to just echo $i, our original number. And so you can see their code is a lot shorter and a less stress on the processing, even though it was very simple for the computer process before. Technically, the other way is looping through a whole bunch of unnecessary numbers. So if I typed all that right, and we make it executable here with change mod, and rerun it, we get the same result. So I just wanted to show you that. I found it interesting, and show you one way of doing it that isn't very good, my way. And then I showed you a more efficient way, and that's just at the first link that I clicked on after Google searching it. So there might be even shorter, more efficient ways. But I was just happy that I was able to accomplish it with knowledge I knew. Because supposedly 199 out of 200 people can't accomplish this task from what I've read. So I'm just happy that I did it even though I didn't do it in the best way possible. So go ahead, if you know other programming languages, see what you can come up with. And I just want to thank you for watching this little demonstration, little thought process, interesting little test that someone created. I can't remember the guy's name now. And that's it. Please visit filmsbychris.com. That's Chris with a K. Check out the links in the description. And I hope that you have a great day.